Welcome everybody to the Red G Fox channel. Thank you for joining us today. And what is more exciting than Sanford and Son? That is talking about Sanford and Son. And we just came off last month a 7-week tournament where we decided the best one and done character of all time. On this channel, you're going to get tournaments throughout the year, all the time. And this one, we needed to give it a little break because we're almost done with season 2, and that is the best of season 2 episode. So we got round 1 right now. This is going to take probably about 2 months, but it's a fun process because we're going to go through each month or each week 4 of the best episodes, then another 4 until we get the best one at the very end. We kind of have our suspicions: Rated X, Card Sharps, Jealousy, some of the ones, Guests in the Yard. Those are just, it's going to be so hard because in this opening round, we've already had people make comments saying, I can't choose. There's too many good ones. And that's a good thing to have when you have this tough of a choice. But at the end, you always got to break it down. And that's what we'll try to do today as we go in round 1 for the best episodes. And 3 of them are outstanding. I enjoy all of them. They are really good classics for season 2. But before we get to that, if you are not a subscriber, please click the subscribe button, join our community, as every day you're going to get either a short, a trivia, a poll. There's always something Sanford and Son related. Even if you don't like to watch or listen to me, there is always something about Sanford and Son you might enjoy. And at any time, if you enjoy this video or learn something new, click the like button. Thank you. It really helps promote it in YouTube so we can get other people out there watching it and making our community get really big, which Fred Sanford would love. So without further ado, let's get to it. And if you ever want to, if you are already a subscriber, become a member. We have a membership program where you get to have special badges, comments only for members. I will respond to every member comment instantly. And also, you can get early access to videos and special only membership channel videos as well. So keep that in mind at any time if you feel like becoming a member to our channel. Here we go, best of season 1, and we're starting with By the Numbers. That is a very, very good one. IMDb gives it 7.5. As we've seen, anything from IMDb 7.5 or higher usually is a memorable classic with a lot of great scenes and a great story. 22% in our poll right now as it is up. It is 22% in 3rd place, which not a shock when you get to the other episodes. My personal Red Fox channel stamp, I give it as well a 7.5. I agree. I think it's right there where it should be. It's above average and very memorable. There's a couple reasons why this is. I think this is more a historic episode for Sanford and Son more than a great episode. It's great, but not elite. Bubba, we get the debut of Bubba Bexley. He comes on the show, and we talked about all characters, elite characters in the show, their first appearance, and Bubba was a good one. Not a great one, not Melvin, not Esther, not Grady, not on their levels, but still a good one, and it's a joy as a Sanford and Son fan to get to see Bubba after we went through all season 1 waiting for one of the staple characters. The debut of Bubba in this one. We also get the first of only 2 appearances. I feel like she was in so much more, but Aunt Ethel, this is the first time she comes in. In this one, we know we'll get to her problems. Okay, we'll get to her problems. But so 2 first for show characters. We know in Fred Plays the Numbers, this is one where he has one of those crazy dreams where he's like, you know what, I had these dreams. And then there's a book where you look at the book and it has the numbers and it tells you what your dreams mean. And Fred has this hunch about the numbers he's got to play. And Lamont's like, no gambling. I know how much money we have. And he's like, hey, can I just get $10? Can I get $5? I can win this much. I can win $3,000. He could play that. He's like, can I just get $1? Can I gather up 10 guys at the pool room and just get each of them chipping a dime? And Lamont won't let him. He's like, no, you're not gonna. I know how much money we have. Don't play the numbers. But thankfully, Fred ignores him, and he does. And in this one, he wins some big bucks. Let's look at this right here.
Bet $1 and won $600. 6 big ones.
So that's great. I'm so glad that Fred got something out of it. So you think, hey, he's going to go off to Vegas, right? We see him. He's got his nice suit. He spent $100 on that new suit. And I don't feel bad for Lamont. There's times in this show where you go, you know what? I feel bad for Lamont. Fred pulled a fast one or is tricking him or vice versa. But with this one, I don't, because Lamont wouldn't let him play. He could have played $3 and I think they could have had $1,200. either way, he would not let Fred play anything. Fred took the chance. And so this is all his money. But Lamont's like, hey, I can use some new clothes. The truck needs fixing. I would love to go on vacation. You know, he texts, and Fred's like, no. I don't want to hear this. And he's waiting for Bubba to come. And then Bubba doesn't come. Ethel comes, and she has to have gallbladder, right? You know, she brings Fred pigtails and pig feet, all these things he loves. And he's like, you know what? He's all, I don't want this pig feet. You know, it's going to be expensive. And he keeps looking out the window. Let's look at that scene. That's funny.
$200. But you don't want to hear about it, do you, Fred? Gee whiz, Bubba ought to be here by now.
I love when he's looking out. He's like, Bubba should be here by now. And he's waiting for Bubba to come. And she just wants, her gallbladder. Remember, I need $200 for my gallbladder operation. And you know Fred, right? As much as we say in the show, they paint him to be kind of a stingy guy or a jerk. We always know deep down he does have a good heart. And we've seen it. Time in, he gave Esther, his biggest rival, his last bit of money to help to get the wing at the church for the children, and he says it's just to get her out of here. But we know deep down he's a good guy, and so he does give her the money. Then Bubba comes in and he's like, "You're too late, $200 late, the Bubba." And Bubba's in trouble, and he needs $250 to get his car out, and because remember his wife Maxine, Mac the knife. Let's look at that real fast.
You know my ex-wife Maxine.
Maxine. Is that the one that cut up your clothes when she left you that day?
Yeah, Max the knife.
What a good scene. And what the best is when Ethel wins, she's like, "Hey, Lord bless this house." And then Bubba's like, "Bless this house, Fred. Bless you, Lamont. Bless you, Fred." All these things because he got the money.
Bless you, Fred. Bless you, Lamont. Bless this house.
So now Fred's only got $50 left. And he's like, "Forget it, take it, Lamont." His whole trip is ruined, so you feel bad for him. But then the guy comes who's a supposed reporter. And if you pay attention, comment below if you did not know this. That is Rooster from the Card Sharps. That is the same actor who went on to play Rooster with Hucklebuck and Ugly Skeeter Matthews' son. But anyways, yeah, so he was in there. That is the actor who played Rooster. Yes, it is. And I think he only makes 2 appearances in show history. But he comes in, he robs. He takes the last $50. So Fred gets nothing, and I feel so bad for him. Part of me was upset at Lamont because he kept stalling. He kept, "Hey, come on, Dad. Come on, Pop. Bubba's your friend. That's Aunt Ethel." All these people, man, he just stingy. So overall, like I said, great episode. But 22%, it's in 3rd place. Let's get to our next episode. And this is probably one where I would say, hey, you know what? This is a tough one. This is where, I mean, they're all good, but this makes it tough. And that is Whiplash. Yes, we'll get to the best scene. But Whiplash, IMDb gives it 7.6. I feel it should have been a little higher. So on the Red Fox channel official, we give it 7.8. I just feel like, you know what? It's so close to an 8. It is so funny. And we get Bubba again, much better version of Bubba than in the first one where you only get a little bit of him. And you get Smitty and Hoppy. And you get Fred falsely accusing the detective, the chief or whatever, the lieutenant, whoever it is, he keeps accusing him as being the guy who hit him. But as we go 27% in 2nd place, Fred, he gets hit, right? He gets hit by a white man driving a black Cadillac. Brother, you sitting on a gold. Let's look at that clip.
Yeah? White man?
Yeah.
Fred, you sitting on top of a gold mine.
The best in it all, the way he does it too, where Bubba says it, but the funniest scene, oh man, it's good when they both do it, but it's got to be when Smitty translates and he's all, "You sitting on a gold mine." That's the classic. Bubba says it, Smitty says it.
Brother, you're sitting on top of a gold mine.
But that's the whole truth. And Fred gets hit by a white guy driving a black Cadillac. And at first he was doing the Bubba was like, "Hey man, does your neck feel funny?" And he's like, "You know what, Bubba? I think it is. I'm gonna make my neck feel ridiculous." You know, he's gonna make his neck feel crazy. And it was funny how he went from good to not good when Lamont comes back in with the cops. So that's the whole episode on it. There is so much. I'm not going to... We've already did episode breakdown. Every single episode on here, I should have said this at the beginning. If you love it and you want to see clips and talk about it, go back in our channel and season 2 episode breakdown on the playlist. They're all on there. And that's the part. That's why it's great. You can go back and review anything you want. But there is so much funny stuff. But the favorites we're kind of covering. But yeah, he sits there and then he goes into the police station because they caught the guy. And Fred wrongly accuses the wrong guy. And he's like, oh, I know it. Then he sees the actual crook it is. And let's look at the clip right here. I love this part. Let's look at it. I was going to say, should we put this in or not? But Fred's reaction, I like the criminal's reaction to this.
Very nice, say that.
The way Fred's doing it, like he's going to hit him, the guy's looking around like, what? Are you serious? Is this guy for real? Great reaction by the actor, whoever that is. But yeah, and it was stolen. So Fred gets nothing and you feel bad. But what I love about the ending is Lamont goes out of his way to say, hey man, we got a criminal off the street. You know, that's a positive point. He's like, we got a criminal off the street. He's like, hey, we're next to Chinatown. Let's go out and get something to eat, Pop. So it's a great ending. He makes him feel better. And I made a point on the episode breakdown where my son was watching it, my youngest, and I was like, hey, if I have a bad day and something happens like this when we're both older, you better take me out to my favorite restaurant if we're near it to make me feel better. That's a great gesture by Lamont. So I love episodes like that where you get humor, silliness, and then the main heart of the show, father and son at the end, where they're together. So that's why I think, to me, it's a 7.8. It's got a lot. It's got a lot of humor and some real heart behind all of it. But that is Whiplash. Let's get to the third one on this list, and that is The Dowry. IMDb gives this, surprisingly, a 7.6. When I think of The Dowry, I go, yeah, it is good. It is funny. But according to this, in these 4 episodes, it's 10% by fan votes. So even the community of us, our community is even going, you know what, of these 4, there's only a few people that actually go, you know what, this is one of maybe 14, 20, I don't know how many people actually enjoy it. But 7.6, so we know it's a good one. It is. This is the first time and only time we get this edition of Grady, where Grady comes on there and it's, Fred, you old cabbage head. And he's married, who we all know she goes on to be the fallen woman later in, I want to say, with the Sanford Arms, when they're trying to rent it out. And she becomes Evelyn, Miss Evelyn, Eve in the series Sanford. I really like her more than Donna. But in this one, she's married to Grady, and her daughter is on the plus size, and she loves to eat, right? And that's one of the jokes throughout this one. And Grady says, hey, if she gets married, she gets a $10,000 dowry. Now, $10,000 today's standards would be like getting married and having your new wife have $73,000. So that's a lot of cash. Fred's like, hey man, you know what we could do with that? He's thinking they'll get married, they can live here, he can do so much with that money. But when Lamont finds out, right, and like I said, there's a lot of jokes in it, but I think the story is better than the actual humor when it comes to this one. Because with it, you know, he goes, I remember Lamont finds out about it, and that's another funny part where they're talking, and he's gonna, when Fred's like, at first he mocks, and then later he's like, you know what, she might make a great bride. You should go out, you know, someone should go out there. And Lamont's like, what? You can see his face. He's like, is this the same person I was talking to yesterday about this? And he doesn't get it. We know why, but if Lamont doesn't get why Fred's doing this, and so they kind of force him on her on a date, and then he finds out. She's like, oh yeah, whoever marries me is gonna, I'm gonna get $10,000, and that's when Lamont's like, you know, there's a lot of old people who might try to take advantage of you. And you can see him where he's like, he's mad at Fred. But what I like about it is, one of my favorite things is, we just covered this on the Home Sweet Home for the Aged, in that he does the same thing. He doesn't call his dad out. He doesn't put his dad and say, hey, you tried to do this. What? And he just goes, oh, okay, how can I turn this against my dad to make him think that he's stopping it? And he goes, oh yeah, Dad, this is great. You know, I really like her. We could get married. We're going to move back to, is it St. Louis? Wherever they're going to go, they're out of here. Fred's like, no, you can't leave. He doesn't want to lose his son. Nothing's going the way Fred wants. So Fred cancels it. And Fred says, oh yeah, he's going to put her on a strict diet. So wisely, and so at the end, Lamont gets his dad back without having his dad be upset that he didn't get 10 grand. So it's a great ending, good episode. To me, like I said, on our Red Fox channel, we would give this a 7.4. I think this is just a tad. I don't think it's as good as By the Numbers. I definitely don't think it's as good as Whiplash. And comment below, where do you have it? You might be one of the ones who voted for it to be number 1. Because there are comments. People did say The Dowry. Not as many. Most of the comments were Whiplash, and our last episode we're getting to. But there were people who said The Dowry. They liked it. So yeah, comment below if this is one of your favorites, and put why. Why do you like it? What's your favorite line from that one? But it is pretty good. Another fun fact about this episode, it is one of 2 episodes that was written by Red Fox and Richard Pryor. That's a cool fact in case you did not know that. Let's get to our final episode, and that is Jealousy. This got IMBD. What do you think, IMBD, with Jealousy? When I was doing the research, I was like, that's probably 7.8. I mean, I could even see 8.0. 7.6. So when it comes to fan rating, that's what's crazy, is that the fans that love Jealousy, I think, are like, man, it's like an 8 or an 8.5. It's way up there. And the fans that kind of don't love Jealousy or might like the Dowry more, they probably go, yeah, it's a 7.4. So it all balances out to that. But I can't see why. Jealousy, 7.6 IMBD. Red Fox, our channel, we give this an 8.0. This is an 8. This episode is so funny, and it's got some great humor. It's got a great ending where Fred's trying to sing and be alone with Donna, and he tells Lamont to get away, and then he does the fist. So there's comedy, there's joy, there's love, and Lamont being totally a thorn in the side. All we gotta say is one name, Osgood Wilcox, and you gotta go, oh man, I love that episode. The funny thing is, we just did with our last tournament, the best one and done. Osgood Wilcox finished second overall. So of the top like 25 to 30 characters we had, Osgood was number 2. So you know Jealousy's gonna be an elite episode. Right now, it has 40% of this vote. So we got, like what I said, look at the ratings. IMBD, 7.6, 7.6, 7.6, 7.5. Yet on here, 40% of the votes are going to Jealousy. That tells you people just love Osgood Wilcox and the whole episode behind it. With this one, where you get Osgood, it's got so much. It's got Lamont. Lamont has such a huge factor in this, in that he is he's got the dagger and he's poking Fred. Look at that. Look at that, Pop. She's out there dancing with him. The whole episode, it's just him. Remember when they take off? He's all, Pop, she didn't even take your side. Lamont's like, he is doing everything he can to break them up because he does not like the Barracuda. Donna is trying to be sweet, and you can see she's being patient with Osgood. So you got that factor into it. You got Osgood, who they think is going to be some old guy where Fred's got the wheelchair, and he comes in with an incredible entry when he's like, be of good cheer, Osgood is here. You can never get tired of Roscoe Brown's voice. He's so classy and elegant. He's like a British actor who could, you know, do like a play, a Shakespeare play. But at the same time, he's hilarious in this, and he's got some strange, quirky behavior. How many people would go, even if you want to show off, go, ha, and then jump on the floor and do a push-up, lay down, lift up a chair with one arm, light a cigarette with another, then do the judo and the karate. I mean, he's all over the place. But what I love is also, before they become rivals, Fred is just, hey, he's not even threatened by the guy. And he's like, a domestic sherry. And he's talking about it. And he's like, it does better if you drink it instead of smelling it. And then he's also, when he's like, oh, bric-a-brac, he says all these things. What are you into? Fred's like, yeah, I'm into junk. And he's all, charming fellow. So I love their back and forth, in that Fred is just like, he doesn't realize Osgood Wilcox is kind of making fun of him, but Fred doesn't care. And he's not even jealous about it. Remember, he's all, yeah, I saw y'all dancing. Looked like she was holding you up. But let's look at a clip from right here. We just got to show you how good Osgood Wilcox is, if you have not ever seen this episode.
No, don't believe in it. Tried it 3 times. You know what I hate about it? All the talking. Talk, talk, talk.
I love that one. That's one I've referenced so many times, when he's like, talk, talk, talk. That's why I hate, remember, because he's been married multiple times. And Fred's like, oh, I love talking with Donna. Donna's different. I love talking with her too. So he just takes this episode, just like Big Money Grip, who was the best one and done champion, as rightfully so. Who's other guys? The 3 Degrees, the Card Sharps, they take the episodes and they just make them so much more memorable. So I could see why Jealousy's most likely going to win this. But Osgood, yeah, as we saw in the clip, and the arm wrestling, when they go to arm wrestle, and then when he takes off, and so it's like I said, it's got so many good things in it that if I had to vote, because I can't vote on your own polls on YouTube, if I had to vote, it would be Jealousy. It would be Jealousy, 1, Whiplash 2, 3 By the Numbers, and 4 Dowry. And at this stage, that's the order. That's what it is. So if you are a big fan of one of these, comment about which one you would pick and why. Push for yours, man. If you really like the Dowry, I don't think it's going to overcome these. The only one right now I think is at 27%, 22% for By the Numbers, 27% is Whiplash. So if you're a big fan for Whiplash, comment why. Push in there. Get the people who maybe liked the Dowry or By the Numbers. Swing it, you know, forget it. It's almost like you want to make it a 2-horse race. Swing their votes to Whiplash, and maybe it can catch up. That's the only way. But in the end, I'm okay with this order. That's the order I would have it if it was Whiplash or... But I just can't see Osgood Wilcox not making it to the next round. Possibly the final 2 rounds before they meet the championship. It's just so good. And the 7.6 I think is unjust when it comes to IMBD. I just can't see it at that rate. That's why we give it 8.0. So thank you very much. This Tuesday we will have our next episode breakdown. It's the episode The Kid. It's very unpopular. It's one of the lowest rated in IMBD in season 2, but it's one of my favorite. But these episodes, Whiplash and Jealousy, I think are 2 episodes that can carry any season, even in season 3, which is the Hall of Fame of Sanford and Son, which we're so close to getting to. But even season 3, these 2 episodes I think can squeeze right in there and probably make it better. These 2 episodes can probably take out a few from season 3 as making that just like the Hall of Fame. We're going to get to that one day too. We're going to get all our episodes and break down we already did top 10, but like the Hall of Fame of each season. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. Comment, leave a like, subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, become a member today and get all the perks that we do offer. So have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Enjoy your Easter week. Thank you, Jesus. Resurrection Sunday this Easter. Today is Good Friday if you're watching this. So, yeah, it is Good Friday because Jesus rose 3 days later. So thank you. I hope you guys celebrate Easter and have a great time. Comment below what you're doing for this weekend as well. We'll look to you again. No live shows this week, possibly next week. All right? Have a safe day. Peace.